All right, guys, I know I'm going live tomorrow night, but I wanted to do tomorrow night. I basically want to concentrate on you all, your questions, things that you are having issues with, colors, something like that. Or if you aren't having any issues at all, just to be able to share what you've gone through. So today I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick video of me doing my makeup. That way tomorrow night, like I said, I can just concentrate on you guys. I posted a video last night of Lori, who has amazing tips for mature skin, that kind of thing. She's really, really good. I'm eventually going to try some of the things that she tried. But today I wanted to kind of show that I've got a couple spots that I need to cover up. I thought this was a blemish because I've not had one single breakout since I've started using this makeup. But I'm not so sure that that's what that is. We were racing all weekend long, so I'm going to almost say that this possibly happened this weekend. Because it's just a flat little, like, boo-boo. So, anywho, I'm going to cover that boo-boo up. This brush here is the BBF Best Blend Forever. It is perfect, like good for anything. I'm going to take that and kind of roll it around in one of my main highlight colors, which is Candlelit. Just going to get the tip of that. And I'm going to start pretty much what we call color correcting. Doesn't take much. Boom. Corrected. Then I'm going to take a little bit of it, just kind of like what's left on my brush, and dab it underneath my eyes and in the corners, kind of where those dark spots are. I'm just now catching up on my sleep from the weekend. Still not so sure that I have caught up on my sleep. All right. Then I'm going to go into the famous Buffy brush, which I absolutely love. And because I'm in kind of a hurry, I'm going to use the big end. You can use either end, the smaller one. I like to use the smaller one around my eyes and everything, but I'm going to go with a lighter highlight underneath my eyes today. So to just do my kind of all over, I'm going to dip that Buffy brush in my Candlelit. And I think the first place I'm going to start is on my chin and work my way up. Because I did have to color correct there, so I'm just kind of wanting to go ahead and get that blended in. Candlelit is kind of an all-over good color. It's a very basic color. It still has that yellow tint in it to help cover up this redness, but it also still has that pretty much like an all-over good foundation color for most skin types. And then Aura is one that is basically a step lighter than it, and I like to really use it right underneath my eyes after I get my main highlight on. And it covers so well. And I'm just dipping. I mean, I'm not, I'm not like jamming my brush into the product. I'm just barely getting it on there, and I'm doing like a stipple motion to really get it into my skin. And then once I do that stipple motion, that's the only time I really do any rubbing. The stipple motion is what you want because you want to press that in there to be like a second skin. You don't want brush strokes. You don't want, when you get too much product on your brush and you start brushing it everywhere, that's whenever it doesn't lay properly. It doesn't like a lot of, it's just an easy product. It's a very thin product. Like right now, I don't feel like I have any product on my face because I am doing very little and because I am pressing it into my skin. Take just a little bit, kind of go over those eyelids to cover up some of those veins and redness. Because I'm telling you, my skin has been just every day, it like amazes me on how well this product goes on and how well my skin has just brightened up and started correcting itself. I love it. And don't get me wrong, I have to work for it. I still use my glycolic acid at night. I exfoliate 2 to 3 times a week. I use my milk moisturizer usually at night because I don't do my glycolic acid every single night. And the nights I don't, I use my milk. And the nights I do, I use my milk in the mornings. And I let that sit about 15-20 minutes before I start rolling in with this. Now, usually I don't go up on my forehead with my focus, with my highlight, as y'all have seen before. I don't know why it's not focusing. Focus. But today I am, because I've got some color issues going on. I've got some freckles from being out in the sun this weekend. Hang on, guys. There it goes. Lord help us. All right, so I am going to just stipple a little bit of this up here where my freckles are. That's why it's not focusing. Let me turn this way a little bit. Just to kind of cover that up. Oh, I got so many baby hairs. All right, highlight done. I'm now moving to my detail hack brush because we all love this end for contour. All right, I'm going to use my contour, which is Ash. I've really been liking Stone lately because it's a little bit more warm with it being summertime. So I've kind of been mixing the two a little bit. And then you want to press into where that cheekbone is. You're basically giving yourself a shadow and bringing out those dimensions of your face. That's why they call this 3D foundation. Because you do have cheekbones and you do have things that, you know, when you put on your makeup should show out, should, you know, check up and let people know that they're there. Pretty much. Now I'm going to go a little bit on that forehead where I kind of covered up those freckles situation I have going on. Once again, I'm just tapping that into my contour. And then I'm just rubbing that down where I want that shadow. Guys, I have like the worst baby hairs. Like my hairdresser says I'm never going to go bald, which is a good thing. But they drive me insane. Insane. They get in my way. All right. So once you kind of have that line of your contour, can't see it real good on this side. This light's a little bright. You kind of want to feather it up to kind of give it that lift. You don't want to go up too far over your cheekbone. You're basically wanting to press it up into that cheekbone and just kind of feather it out a little bit. All right. Now I'm going to go right down at my jawline to create another shadow. To kind of chisel that jaw. To give it that lift of no double chin. Right down on my neck. I don't use a whole lot on my neck. I just kind of use the excess of what's on the brush. But I do make sure that I'm right there at that jawline. All right, so now I'm going to flip. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to go to a smaller brush. I'm going to go to my eyeshadow everything brush because it's got this really fine end on it. And I'm going to go into my contour and I'm going to contour my nose. And one mistake that I have actually learned myself, along with others, is that sometimes I get that line a little too wide, and that does not help my nose out at all. Like, it makes it worse. You want those lines parallel right down the center of your nose so that you kind of have this blank runway right down the middle. It just kind of helps to not make your nose look so big. And I do have a fat, pudgy nose. Then I take some to do the little lip pucker. Right underneath that lip. Blend that in a little bit. Now I'm going to use that same brush, wipe it off, the eyeshadow everything brush, and I'm going to go into my color Aura, which is right here. It's a little bit lighter than the Candlelit that I put on my face. And I'm just going to go right down the center of my nose and right up in between my eyes. I'm wanting to brighten that up, that area, to give it that effect that it needs. That dimension that we always talk about. All right. Then I can see this little bad boy trying to poke through a little bit. So I'm going to tap a little bit of Aura on him. All right. Then I'm going to go back to my Buffy brush. And I'm going to go to the smaller end. I'm just going to barely tap into my Aura. And I'm going to go right underneath my eyes. I just want to brighten this area up a little bit because I haven't had much sleep. right on the side of my nose. I don't really want to go up my nose to ruin my contour. Just want to brighten right there, right in between my eyes, and then where I went to color correct, just kind of brighten that up a little bit. Okay. All right. Detailed hack. If you feel like you need a little bit more contour, you can go back in, just add a little bit more before we blend. I think I'm doing okay considering I need to kind of be in a hurry. My kind of be in a hurry days are getting slower and slower. All right. So I showed off some new blushes the other day, and I'm loving, 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 even though I just got samples in of some really new ones that I'm loving, loving, loving. But today I am actually going to use Summer Love. I'm going to give myself just that little bit of color that I need because, you know, it is summertime. So you don't want to lose that color. See how pretty and sheen that is? You want to go right on the apples of those cheeks. You don't want to go too close to your nose. And I like to kind of go up towards my temple. It just gives you just the right amount of color. I love it. Love this color. You know, that's one thing about my powder blushes. When I used to use powder is they would either be too dark or not dark enough. And then halfway through my day, the color was gone. Hated it. Hated it. All right. If your perfector sponge is not this big, like if your perfector sponge is, you know, half this size, you don't have it wet enough. Excuse me. I like to wet mine right before I start my makeup. And I mean, I soak it and I wring it real, real good. Then I put it in a towel and kind of roll it because you want it damp. But if it's not doing this squishy goodness, you don't have it right. You don't want too much water because it will remove your product. But you don't want it too dry because it will also remove your product. And the idea of this is to press. You don't want to rub. You don't want to, you know, move your product around because right now it's set where it needs to set. We just need it to blend. I like to take the smaller end to go down the sides of my nose where I've contoured and right on top. I like to take the fatter end to do my forehead and my cheek contour down all the way around my chin. And like after you do this, I mean, you literally feel like it's just a second skin. It doesn't even feel like you have on makeup. And it blends so good. I mean, I have zero complaints. And guys, I wasn't a makeup person, but this has made my life so much easier. So much easier. All right. So for those of you that like to set with a powder, I used to. And now that my skin has kind of adjusted to this makeup, I don't really use a setting powder anymore. But now would kind of be the time to do that. Before I started, I sprayed myself with Stay Spray from Mascara. It smells like coconuts. It's amazing. Helps my makeup to stay all day, and I usually don't get very oily anymore. So I don't usually have to use a powder anymore. But when I did, I used the Airspun translucent powder, or I used, like today, I guess I could show you, I used the Vanilla Dust Powder from Mascara. And their powder power brush is, or power brush, whatever it is amazing. It's got that fine that just really, where you can really press into the powder, or it's got this end that's a little bit more where you can get into those areas that you really get oily. For instance, I can just dab this brush into the Vanilla Dust Powder and just kind of go over areas that I tend to get oily. And like I said, here lately, it's like my skin is just adjusted to this, and it's made it so much more healthy, and I'm really not seeing a big issue with oil or anything. And then you could even flip it over to this end, like if you wanted to, you know, a wider area. There you go. And then I like to take my B Squared bronzer and blush brush with this big fluffy end and just kind of knock off any excess because you don't want that sitting in your creases. That's something else that the Perfector sponge does. When you press in that product, you're also picking up extra product that you want out of your creases that you may have went a little too much on your chin, that kind of thing. All right, so let's move on to some eyes and lips, and then I'm pretty much done. This little guy here is really starting to irritate me. I think it's because it's fresh, and I used my acid last night, so he's trying to heal. Understandable. I'll put a little milk on it tonight, and it'll disappear tomorrow. All right, so for my eyes, I'm just going to do a really simple look. I cannot preach enough about these eyeshadow brushes. I love, love, love them. You've got the Blend and Tap brush. You have the Eyeshadow Everything brush. You have the Multitasker brush, which is amazing. And then the Hotline brush, which is great for what I'm about to do. All right, but right now I'm going to use my Blend and Tap brush that has the kind of longer, skinnier end and the short, fatter end. And I am going to go into my Cupcake. And I'm just going to kind of, which is this whiter color here, and I'm just going to kind of go over my whole lid to kind of set, to kind of give my eyeshadow look a background. I'm not the best at eyeshadow, never claimed to be. I actually am very messy with it because I'm a big blender. I like to just blend, blend, blend until it looks right. Not going to lie. All right, so next I'm going to flip it around to the longer end. And I'm just going to, actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go to my Eyeshadow Everything brush with the big fluffy end. Love, love, love this end. And I am today going to go into Mama, which is a really pretty light pink. It's not a shimmer, it's a matte. I'm going to put that on the end of my brush, tap it out a little bit, and then I'm just going to start doing what they call the windshield wiper motion. I'm just going to start hitting it in that crease, right above that crease, because I have hooded eyelids. All right. Tap it off, because they are very, very pigmented. This is a very light color, so it's kind of hard to see in this light, but I'm fixing to blend it up with some other colors, so it's a very, very neutral color. All right, so next I am going to go into my basic, which is anything but, and I am just going to tap. Like I've told y'all before, there's a time to tap and there's a time to swipe. I'm just going to tap that like in a C motion at the corner of my eye. And you don't want to go too far out because, you know, we're not going for Cyndi Lauper here. We're just kind of, see that little bit of color there? Tap it off. It's very pigmented. And I'm just going to tap in a C motion, just to kind of give that outer corner some color. Okay. Now I'm going to go to my Multitasker brush. If you don't have this brush and you have our eyeshadows, you're missing out. All right. I am now going to go back into my Cupcake because I'm not going to do a real crazy look today. I'm just going to kind of go in that corner and blend it out towards the center a little bit. It helps to kind of give that eye a lift. Okay. Then I'm going to tap some, just tap it. Just tap it. Just tap it away right there in the center. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to my, isn't it funny how I go from one brush to the other and I'll just automatically forget the name? Multitasker, Hotline, Blend and Tap, Eyeshadow Everything. There you go. Eyeshadow Everything. All right, and then I'm going to dip into just a little bit of Amethyst. It's kind of like a deep grayish purple. I'll tap that off, and then I am just going to start blending this where I kind of put the Mama with the basic. I'm just blending this all in my crease just to help give me a little bit of color up here in this crease, and these colors blend together so well. I mean, like every color. Like you can almost use any color in here and they blend together well. Nobody would have thought to put Amethyst in basic with Mama, but I do, just because I love the way it looks. I don't have too light of an eye, but I don't have too dark of an eye for daytime, and it just blends together really well. I have a function I have to go to tonight, so when I come home tonight, I'll just darken this up a little bit and be out the door. All right. Back to the multitasker brush and why I'm telling you guys if you don't have it, you need it. I am now going to go into my Cola contour, which we discussed the other night on live. It is pretty much black, but it's fantastic for a liner. If you don't, I try to use all mascara products on my face. Yes, sometimes I would grab up my old pencil CoverGirl eyeliner or whatever, but this is really, really good for an eye or an eyeliner. Now, I can't promise you that I'm going to get it right because I'm trying to do this in my phone. So I'm just going to kind of hold my little mirror up here and show you guys. I want to go right at that lash line. I don't know if y'all can really tell. Let me pull this eye back. I just want to go right at that the lash line. I don't want to give it too much. Oh, my dog. I don't want to go crazy with it. I just want enough to kind of help, look like my lashes are a little bit thicker, if that makes any sense. I don't try to go too crazy with it. And this little bitty end of the multitasker brush is perfect for this because when you first put it on, you can kind of turn it sideways to get that real fine line. And look at that difference already. And then you can turn it the other direction to kind of flatten it out and to kind of smooth it out. All right, so next I'm going to go inside my waterline. For those of you that don't do this, it takes a bit, to get used to it. When I first started doing my waterline, I was like, oh no, I'm going to screw this up tremendously. But it makes a difference in brightening up your eyes. I just do that inner corner of my waterline. That's it. And then on the bottom, I do the whole entire waterline. All right, let me get this side done real quick. Because I do have the hooded eyelids, I kind of have to turn and pull back my eyelid. It sucks. But it is what it is. This is what God gave me. So I deal. And I'm okay with it. I deal and I'm okay with it. All right. Bottom. Right at that waterline. Guys, this brush is perfect for this. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I absolutely love it. Multitasker brush, guys. If you're doing your eyes and you don't have it, you're missing out. I'm just saying. All right. Throw in a little bit of mascara, which I am using Too Faced Better Than Sex. Actually, I'm going to do my lower lashes first. I have been using Roden & Fields Lash Boost. I just started this week. I've been horrible about keeping up with it, but I'm hoping for the best. Because my lashes and my brows have gotten so much thinner. One thing I can say, it doesn't matter what you do to your face. Mascara makes a difference. I can get up and need to run somewhere and just throw on, a little bit of highlight here and there, a little bit of color on my cheeks, and then throw some mascara on these lashes and out the door, gone. I used to, and sometimes I don't care. I don't put on anything, and I'm okay with that. I don't care what people think about me. But when you're in this line, I am a mascara artist, and I do talk about how much I love it, and people do ask me what I'm doing with my skincare routine, and when I tell them it's my makeup, they kind of want to know what it is. When I tell them that it's, called a milk moisturizing line, Tres Leches skincare line, and my makeup is what has helped my skin tremendously, they want to know what I'm using. So I kind of like to be at least a little bit prepared whenever I go out in public. All right, this little bad boy here is the Hotline brush. It's new. It's got the little spoolie on the end for your eyebrows. And then it's got this finer tip to where you can draw in your eyebrows real good. I'm going to go back in with my Cola, what I just used for my eyeliner. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap it in there, and then I just kind of tap it off a little bit. And I want to go in and I want to line this brow. Your main line when lining your eyebrows, the most important line to me anyway, is that lower line. Lining that lower lash line. Because that's kind of what defines your eyebrow. Lower lash line. Lower brow line. That is what's defining your eyebrow. Okay. Then I just take what's excess and I just kind of tap right here to fill this in. And then I may just go up just a little bit to fill in that. I don't go crazy with this Kola contour because it is dark. It is very, very dark, as you can see. Then I flip it over to the spoolie end and I just start brushing up. And you can use any contour for this. It doesn't have to be Kola. You can use whatever contour you're using on your face. It can be stone. It could be ash. It could be olive. It could be Astoria. Astoria is a really, really good one. It could be whatever color floats your boat. Whatever color you like. Same thing with your eyes. I mean, lips, whatever. Use your Bella bronzer. Put that stuff to work. All of this is universal. All of this can be used in all aspects, in all areas. You can just use your Bella bronzer as your blush, lips, whatever you want to. You don't have to just use it for contour. All right, these are my Illuminators. I've been using Pearl. This one here is Rose Gold, and this one here is, I believe, Angel. Yes, Angel. And what I do is I take my BBF, Best Blend Forever, and I like to use this big end here. And I just kind of pat that in there a little bit, just kind of roll it around. And then I go in and I put it right here above that cheekbone. Kind of see that sheen, that little bit of glow. Once again, another dimension of your face that kind of gets washed out. And I take a little bit right above the brow. And then I flip my Best Blend Forever over and I tap that smaller end. And I go right below that eyebrow. Look at that. I love Angel. Pearl was one of my faves, but now Angel is where it's at. And I'm going to show you what else I'm going to do with Angel real quick before I finish up. I'm going to go in now and use my Summer Love that I used, sorry guys, on my cheeks. Allergies. Which was this one right here. And I'm going to use it on my lips. And first of all, before I skip this step, I'm going to go back to my multitasker brush. And I'm going to go into my contour that I used on my cheeks, which is Ash. And I'm going to dip that bigger end in there. And I am going to put a layer of Ash on my lips. It's going to kind of be like my lip liner. It's my fave. No, who am I kidding? Every day, somebody comes on. Harmony, Kat, Kara, Lori, you name it. And they're showing me a new fave. So I'm going to have 15 million faves before it's all over with. All right. Kind of covered that whole lip. And now I'm just going back in and lining it a little bit. Now I'm going to go back to my Summer Love. And I'm going to give myself some color. Go right over top of that contour. Okay, now I'm going to go back to my Angel Illuminator. So pretty, so pretty. And I'm just going to tap another finger. We don't want to mix Summer Love. Boom. That's it. That's it. I'm going to go right down my nose where I did that highlight, or that contour, I mean. I want to kind of highlight that center area. Right on that Cupid's bow. And boom. Some people don't like illuminators. Some people don't like to have that kind of shiny, glistening look. There's some days I like it more than others. But like I said, tonight I have a local function to go to, so I'll probably just come home and kind of touch this up and brighten it up a little bit. So I really wanted to go into depth with all of my products that I use. That way when I do come home to kind of give myself a night eye or whatever, then I don't have to do hardly anything. All I'll have to do is maybe go a little bit darker in my crease, throw on a little bit more mascara, touch up my lips, done. All right, so the reason for this video was just to kind of go through what I do again in hacking, highlight, and contour, because tomorrow night when I go live, I want you guys to be prepared. I want to take the time with you guys. I want to answer questions. If you guys want to break out your mascara products and you want me to do something or show you something and you want to do it with me, fantastic. I'll even pull you in on live if you want me to. If not, no big deal. Just tell me what you're doing. I'll do it with you. We'll just kind of go from there. I'm also going to be talking about the July 1st giveaway, which I'm totally excited about. You guys helped me make May a great month. This company is growing and growing and growing. And if I didn't love it, I wouldn't be on here doing this. I would just be putting on my makeup and going to work and hiding this wonderful secret from everybody. But I'm not. I love it. So that's why I'm here. But I want to be here for you. You guys that are ordering, that are using this, that are taking that leap of faith, that want to have the better skin, that want a makeup that doesn't feel like it's weighing you down and still have the look of what these girls are getting airbrushed or taking forever or hiring somebody to do. I watched an old highlight and contour video last night. The amount of products that girl put on her face before she even got to highlight and contouring, I about died. Like I was having an anxiety attack of just from what she had put on before she even got to these steps. I was like, oh my God, how does her face breathe? I mean, I have big pores, so I can't imagine that. So with that being said, tomorrow night, probably around 7-ish, which will be Wednesday night, jump on here, going live, here for you guys. I will look like a clown if I need to when it's over with. So any questions you have, anything you want to try, any colors, whatever, the big blush bash is coming up on the 11th. So I am going to show the new blush samples off that I have. I can't tell you the colors, so you definitely don't want to miss that. All right, so I'm going to jump off here. My husband's probably starving. He wanted me to bring him lunch, but I had things to do at home, and I had to do my makeup. So, all right, I will see you guys tomorrow night.